Okay, I'm going to teach you how to loom up and do the looming on a barrel loom. First thing you got to know is count however many rows that your pattern's going to be. This is a random, just something I threw on. I didn't go by any specific pattern because it's just a teaching tutorial. But the first thing I did was these elastics here. If I had 8 rows, I took the first color of each row and say this is my first row, and I counted up. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. So whatever this color was here would be here. This color would be here, because you would start looming from up here though. So if I had 7 rows, I'd count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'd start on the 8th and go down for this row. So if this was orange, you'd want this to be orange, like that. And then you'd put these all on. So then, once you got them on, you'd start your first row. Whatever colors coincided with your graph, you'd place them across. Then you'd come up here and do the same thing, and so on and so forth until your grid was full. So then what would you do? Well, then you come down here and you take these, and you don't put them on this first row, but you start from down here and you put them over 4. Then you put them over 4, 4, 4, 4, all the way across. Then you come up here and you overlap this. Wherever your 4th one ended, you start there and you go up 4. And it's kind of important to try to keep it at 4. If you could get your pattern to work out that way, you're going to have an easier time of doing everything about it. Okay, so to loom it, you start on the right side and you make sure you stay under these bands, okay? So I'm going to pull right down there and go right on here, just like that. And as you're going in, stay inside the clear bands, your cross bands, and just keep pulling them along. Now this is going to be a little, like I had already did this a little bit and pulled it apart, so I'm not going to be reaching down where I normally would for some of these, because they're right here on top, which does not make it as easy as it looks. But I'm going to just put these, hopefully you're seeing what I'm doing, and my hands aren't in the way. Make sure that's down where it should be. There we go. Okay, and a lot of times I just use my hand as a guide and pull with it. It puts less stress on this head. So, and you just keep looming your way across like this, just like you would on a rainbow loom. Just think of this as a great big pregnant rainbow loom. Okay, and you work your way across, and then you come back here, and what I do is I tuck these behind the next 2. That gets part of that slack out of the way. And then, just as the one before, I just reach down and go, make sure this band is pushed aside, this clear one, every time, and pull that. And I pull with my hands and get them right across there. Oops. And if this slips off, as long as it's loomed, it doesn't matter. But see that one? What just happened? I don't know what happened. Turn this off. Okay, now, see, I noticed that right off. Somehow, some of these bands in this one row got turned around the wrong way. So let's start this row again. Again, I tuck these 2 behind, and let's pull them down this way. And how you notice these things is, as you're doing this, you will notice the whole thing is up. And if you see one down, don't take them off. Find out what you did wrong, back them up, and redo it, unless your whole loom is going to fall apart. So always check and make sure once you're done doing this part that everything fell into place just right. You got all these teardrops. If you don't have teardrops, you'll be crying. kind of like a play on words, but I don't think you can really see from there, but they gotta be the teardrops like this. Okay, so here's that. Again, get behind all these and pull and pull, 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 and you can really whip these out once you get going. Right now my fingers are really sore from using all those silicone bands earlier, and I had put them on my loom and I'd gone from end to end. I was going to do a video on it. Well, wouldn't you know, just what I was afraid of, I had problems with them snapping because they are too tight, and I do not, for myself, recommend using these ones, okay? They don't really give a lot, and they're very hard to pull. And you want something that has some stretch to it here. Okay, on these ones where you get both the bands, what I do is I pull it like this, then I just go in there and pull. So you get yourself in there behind all of them any way you can, and you'll get to it. Okay, so why do I do these things and make these things? Because I don't like having to transfer bands, and I just think this is kind of neat and easy, and it keeps my work right in front of me all the time, and I gotta go nowhere. I just spin it around and everything's right here, and I really want to market these and so everyone can enjoy them. Probably it won't have to be this size, because the joy of this is it's never ending. You can go, well, I should say horizontally. You can put on as many rows as you want, because once you did a few, you can peel them off, and when you go back around, you can just replace them with more looming bands to do. So it just pulls away and stays right out of your way, and then you're forever getting fresh ones. And I'll kind of show you what I mean by that when I start peeling this away. Okay, there's that. So back on here, going in for the yellow. I just think this is a blast. I really enjoy doing this, and like I said, there's no picture here for you to look at, nothing special, it's just the technique I want to show you. Okay, here's the technique. And we gotta get in here again. And like I said, my fingers are some sort from those silicone bands. They may be great because they don't crack in the sun, but your fingers probably would. I tell you what, I think they would. Just so darn tight. Maybe because my hands are getting wimpy. I have, right now, they're really swelled up. I having fluid problems. And because I've been eating stuff I shouldn't, like bread. Okay. So these now you can just pull these away. Leave them right here. Okay. So what we do next is we come down here. Make sure this is on the video. We come down here to this side, and we want to put our loom in, our hook in, and start pulling these up. And then you reach down through and pull the next one up. And I'm trying to figure out, oh, I put two bands on that one, and I don't know why, so I'm going to undo that a minute. we do not want two bands on here. No, we don't. We want them one way, but not the other. Okay, that's the joy of it. You can always try to figure out what you did wrong and go from there. So what I'm going to do is take all these off and take one of them off. I'm going to take all these off. Pull that free. Put that back on. Only for a minute, because I got to pull one of these off. Because I think both of these I probably put two bands on for some crazy butt reason. Take that off. Pull that away and take that off. Now hopefully these are the only ones I did that to. We can just hope so. Because I think these are one. Yes, yeah. So see, again, if you can find yourself making these little mistakes, just remedy them. Don't just keep going with it. Okay, so this is a much better fit now. And you reach inside and you grab this peg here. Grab that band there and pull it up to the next one. You want to make sure you get in there. And again, I'm using my fingers. It goes more smoother for me. And that brings us up right to here. And this band here, alrighty. This band here, I'm going to pull right through here. Hopefully I am anyway. These two go here. Whoopsie-doo. I tell you, I'm making more trouble for myself. I'm just lucky that I figured out how to do all this stuff. Okay, so let's try this one more time. Put it in, pull it out, and pull them through. Okay, I'm just going to leave that like that for now. Okay, we'll leave that just like that. And this should, I'm not going to use my hook. I've broken too many hooks doing this. I take like a chopstick. Chopstick is your friend. And I just start taking these off. And I put them in the hole. And I take them off like such. And I don't mind doing this at all. I'd rather do this and have it fall apart, break, or rip elastic trying to just do it hard. And just do it right here. Okay, you can come down and try to get a couple at a time. Peel them back. The corners are always the trickiest for me. Okay. Okay. You always get the little sticklers. Once you get them going some, they're really easy to take off. You just pull them in whatever direction they already are. Okay. And there's always a couple that pull against you. Okay. So here's the good news. Whenever you do one of these, don't be afraid to pull on it. Pull it and stretch it, and then they all like fall into where do they belong. Okay, so this is how it looks like, okay? And say you wanted to add on to this. So I got my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows, okay? And I want to make it longer. How do we do that? Well, just hang on 1 minute and I'm going to show you.